Verify is all about authenticating what you read on social media to curb the spread of fake news. And sometimes that means fact-checking politicians. Today, President Trump tweeted the appointment of special counsel Robert Mueller was totally unconstitutional, which spurred all kinds of social media speculation. Our researchers checked the Constitution and federal law to get to the truth. Now, President Trump is referring to Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, and that says the president nominates and Congress appoints any cabinet secretaries, ambassadors, or judges. It's called the Appointment Clause. The president believes Robert Mueller should have been appointed through that process, which would have let him pick the person. But that's not how it works. Under federal law, the Attorney General gets to pick a special counsel. And since Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Russia probe, well, that task fell to Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General. So we can verify, well, this tweet is false right here. President Trump was never supposed to appoint Mueller. The Justice Department was. Anytime you see something you're not sure about on social media, remember, the Verify team is here to help. Send us those posts you have questions about on Twitter or Facebook. Send it to Adam Longo TV. Or you can email the whole squad, verify@WUSA9.com.